Hey everybody, this is Kodak here, and today we are taking a look at Grand Archive. A lot of people have been bugging me to look at this game. It is an independent game, yet another one that was backed on Kickstarter. It does have a very anime look to it. Unfortunately, that doesn't really set it apart from a lot of the games we've been seeing off of Kickstarter lately. A lot of them have this sort of anime-esque look. So it is, this is the Sylvie starter deck. It says Water Tamer. I see a wolf, so we have like, I guess a dog person or a cat person. So we have a deck list on the back, which I think is fine. Each starter deck has a chance for a randomly inserted CSR. Making friends is easy. Look, I'll show you. Not a very relatable character, is she? Wait, the company is called Weebs of the Shore? Is that a Wizards of the Coast joke? Well, anyway, so let us have a look here. I do like the box. The box is, I always talk about the box. Hi there, I'm Kodak. I'm the guy who talks about the boxes all day. So the box is very, very appealing. It is very bright and colorful. What happened there? It is very bright and colorful. We have a decent look at the character. I assume this is all the same cutting template for the decks. I know this isn't like a huge company making this game. I mean, if it were up to me, I'd have it so that like the ear also comes into here, but I get it if they only had one die cut to work with. If it was too expensive to make more, I totally understand. But this starter deck was $15. That's a pretty reasonable price, especially since it apparently contains like 70 cards. For a smaller company that's putting out a deck that's slightly larger than one for like Magic or Pokemon, $15 is a perfectly reasonable asking price, age 13 up. So let us have a look inside. Hopefully we'll have some rules as well. A lot of people have been asking me to look at this game, but I have not the foggiest idea how it plays. Is it on the bottom of the... Oh no. Oh no, you can't be serious. Really? Okay, I do not like these. This has been kind of a trend lately. I've seen it in restaurants too, where rather than handing you a menu, they hand you a QR code. I'm sorry, but for a game, for a card game, I mean, this isn't like a, I mean, I have people who send me like demos of their games and they send me a QR code. That's fine. But when it's a game that's gone to print, especially in a box that's like clearly the right size to be able to handle a rule book, you need to send me a rule book. This is, like I said, if a restaurant tries to tell me to scan a QR code, oh please scan our QR code for our menu so we can attempt to install a bunch of cookies onto your phone and sell your personal information. No! I'm not doing that. If I ever wind up in a restaurant like that, I either don't eat there or I tell them I left my phone at home. Hey, if your concern about paper menus is that the litter and the potential for germs, I have this fantastic invention that will solve your problem. It's called a chalkboard. You can write your menu on it and hang it on a wall and everybody can read it. Anyway, so let's take a look at the cards inside. So yeah, this is more of a rookie mistake. I imagine this card, it probably doesn't cost much more to include even, you know, a basic folding sheet of paper that includes that how to play basics and rules and stuff like that. Let me see, does it actually mention on the back anywhere what the game is like? It just says making friends is easy, look, I'll show you. It doesn't say anything, it doesn't say anything about like deck strategy. Oh, there it is. Discover a brand new TCG with engaging gameplay, original story, gorgeous anime-inspired artwork, and in-depth character design. Team up with various champions. Okay, but they have them like down here as a footnote rather than like this big exciting thing. So anyway, okay, so I took a look at some of the rules for the game, and apparently it is a game that borrows elements from a lot of other games. Like this game has like a character deck. So what it does is it has a separate stack of cards that are specifically like your characters, you know, their level ups, their equipment, their special abilities, you know, kind of like the lyric deck in WeCross. Although the odd thing is the way you play cards in this game is by taking additional cards from your hand and setting them face down in a memory zone for the rest of the turn. Basically, you get them back at the start of your next turn, but until then, it's just a huge part of your hand you can't use on your turn. So if a card is a cost of 3, you're taking basically like half your starting hand and setting it down in order to play that card. That seems like it could get really bad really fast, because don't forget, every time you play a card, you're going -1, you're only drawing 1 fresh card each turn. If the game doesn't have some way to compensate for that, it is in some serious trouble. So let's get started here. We have Sylvie with the pack. So we have our champion, tamer, human. Is that really a human with those cat ears on there? Sylvie lineage, so it's a level 2 version. The level 1 must be in here somewhere. Let's see, we have a level 0, Spirit of Water. On enter, draw 7 cards. So I believe you set this down first to get your game started, and then you play like yeah, there's the level 1. The next animal or beast ally card you activate this turn enters the field with activate this turn. Does that mean play? Enters the field with an additional buff counter on it. What do you mean? What do you mean activate? Does that mean play? Because in card game parlance, activate and play are 2 very different things. On enter, if you control an animal ally, draw a card. If you control a beast ally, draw a card. Okay, so leveling up to this character has some draw power to it. Oh, and the health. Okay. So it starts at 15, goes to 19, then to 22, and then do we have like another one? Oh! It's one of these. Sylvie, loved by all. So this is... Oh no, it's got like the signature on it and stuff. Is this the chase card that they talked about on the back? Oh no. Guys, don't do this. Don't make cards like this. Well, no, here's the thing. I don't like them specifically in starter decks, because what it does is it's a ploy to lift the cap on the number of starter decks somebody might purchase. So here's the thing about starter decks, is they all contain the same cards. And ideally, you only need to buy as many starter decks as you need to fill out all of the play sets on the card. This can be as little as 1, it can be as many as 4, but you know, there's a hard limit to it. By including like chase cards in the decks themselves, you're trying to remove that limit, and you already do that with the booster packs. I feel like adding these kinds of cards is, honestly, I think it's a greater hindrance to a game than it is a benefit. But anyway, so we have the level 0, the 1, the 2, and the 3. So it starts at 15 health, it ends at 25. So this is health like Magic the Gathering style health. So your health actually goes up. So that kind of pacing. So that means, that tells you that there's room for like aggression. But there's also, you know, you kind of want to pace out and get this character like leveled up as fast as you can. Now these cards in this sort of special additional deck are actually paid for in a different method, because you can only play one of them at the start of your turn, and you must do so using the cards in your resource row to do it. So you could technically play any of these cards like out of your deck on your first turn, although you don't have access. Oh, you do get access to normal, I think. Normal, I think, it's typeless that every player can use, but I don't know if you get that by playing Spirit of Water. Each card you put in basically gives you access to a type, so you basically combine the spirit with a character, and that determines the cards you're able to use. So this character is a normal character until their final step where they become a Terra character, but they start as a water character. So they can use both water and Terra cards. But yeah, you randomly choose a card from your memory gauge that you use to pay for cards on your last turn, and randomly discard one. I assume you look to your opponent and say, hey, pick 1 card to discard. And that's yet another drain on the hand, but the only one that costs more than 1 are the level up cards from what I've seen. A lot of them grant you like your banished Beastbond Boots, your champion gains Spell Shroud. Okay, only if you control an animal or beast ally, units with Spell Shroud cannot be targeted by spells. Your champion gains +1 level. Target animal or beast ally you control gets +1 attack and true sight. So these feel a little bit like the Flesh and Blood equipment, where you banish them to gain some kind of additional effect. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, they go in a separate stack, starting with your level 1 character, going up to level 3. Did her hair change color? It's like green, then gray, then green again. So then we have our action cards. So these are the ones you pay for using cards in your hand. So we have, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may reveal an animal or beast from among them and put it into your hand. Okay, that's pretty basic search. You get 4 of these. Empowering Harmony, your champion gets +2 level until end of turn. +2 level. They cap at 3. Do I really need a level to be higher than that? Empowering Harmony. If you activate a melody card this turn, draw a card. Grey Wolf, Pride 2. This ally won't obey you unless your champion is level 2 or higher. What does that mean? What does obey mean? And don't go trying to explain it in the comments. This should make sense on the card itself without any additional information. Won't obey you unless your champion is level 2 or higher. What does this mean? Does this mean I'm not allowed to play it? Does this mean I'm not allowed to attack or defend with it? You can't be glib on card abilities like this. Oh, can't obey you. I mean, that sounds like a term from like a video game, and they're like automatically put a big lock on the character, but in a card game, you cannot imply an effect. You have to state specifically what it is, and this card doesn't have any other effect except for Pride 2, so you should be using this card to teach what this word means. And like, we've had 30 years to get it right. This is a rookie mistake. This is like a classic rookie mistake, is to not explain what these effects mean. We've solved this problem more than 20 years ago. Do I get 4 of this one too? I only get 2. Rebellious Bull, Pride 3, so there we go again. Scry the Skies, a Mage skill, Glimpse level, draw a card into your memory. Okay, so it looks like they're like tamer skills. It looks like there are classes, but it doesn't look like those class cards are like locked to one character, because this is a Mage skill and my character is a tamer, so it doesn't quite do that. Smack with Flute. On attack, your champion gets +1 level until end of turn. For a cost 2, that's a lot. Class bonus, Floating Memory. While paying for a memory cost, you may banish this card from your graveyard to pay for 1 of that cost. Okay, so this seems to be, Floating Memory seems to be a common effect. We'll see. So what this does is it allows you, normally you have to pay cards from your hand into memory, so it looks like Floating Memory allows me to instead use cards in the discard to pay for that. Okay, so if this is a common thing, then the idea is that you want to like funnel, rather than, you don't want to play Smack with Flute, you want to funnel this card into your discard pile by, you know, paying the blue memory costs and all that. Song of Nurturing. Allies you control get +2 health until end of turn. All allies also get +1 attack if you're a tamer. Okay. Trusty Steed. On enter, another target ally you control gets +2 attack. Okay. Blue Slime. Pride 4. Pride 4 on a slime? Slimes are like the weakest units in the game. And I still don't know what obey means. Okay, whenever blue slime is dealt damage, put a buff counter on it. Okay, that kind of makes sense. This card seems like it wants to combo with cards that inflict 1 point of damage to one of your minions. I don't know if this deck has any of that, but that seems to make a bit more sense. Deep Sea Beast Bonder, there's Floating Memory again. So like I said, these seem cards that are more inclined to enter your discard pile. Floating Memory. Freezing Hail deals 2 damage to target unit. That unit doesn't wake up during its control's next wake up phase. I don't think you'd want to use that on the slime. You'd want to have like a bunch of little hits to it. Giant Tortoise, it's a 1/6. I'm not sure. Because how things work in this game, you cannot like send out a character to block unless I think they have a special ability to do so. I think they have to have a special intercepting ability to actually protect your character. So a 1/6 isn't quite as intimidating as it is. I guess this thing is supposed to stay in play so you can activate effects based on it being there. Give Bath, another Floating Memory. Lakeside Serpent, Pride 6. Wow. +1 for each water element card in your graveyard. Okay, so 6. So these are, some of these are higher than level 3. So I guess what you're supposed to do in this game is occasionally buff your characters so that they can play like higher level effects. So it looks like the way you play this game is you try to ramp out your level 3 character as fast as you can. Virtus Gaia's Roar, Pride 10. Okay, so it seems that the strategy of this game is to attempt to ramp out your level 3 character card as quickly as you can make that happen. Then you want to try to do other tricks to boost its level, while also filling your discard pile with cards with the Floating Memory effect so that you can play cards without diminishing your hand in the later phases of the turn. So you basically like save up for a big play. Although the fact that character health levels up with level means that there is room for aggro if you're able to do it. I sure hope this game doesn't have any forced discard archetypes, because that would be a huge pain. So I do think the game has some interesting mechanics to it. It's there seems to be a lot of preparation, a lot of planning you want to do, involving getting cards with floating memory into your discard pile to use them for later, in getting your character out as fast as you can, in saving up for those big plays. But it does make some rookie mistakes, and I'm including this as a rookie mistake. The word obey is never defined anywhere on these cards. It only ever comes up with the pride effect, which makes me wonder if it's used for anything else. They literally had a vanilla card whose only effect was pride, that they had all the space in the world to explain what obey means. I looked it up. Obey means you cannot attack, retaliate, or use activated abilities of that character while your level is too low. So they could have had that on the card, I guess, but I guess they just didn't want to. But like I said, I haven't actually gotten the chance to play a game yet. I do have the Grand Archive print and play saved in the saved as part of my gaming archive that I've been building, which is mostly like rule books and print and plays and stuff like that. Like I said, it seems like it has a lot of interesting things going on with a lot of planning. It seems a game that you less want to play on impulse, and one that you want to go in with a deliberate like plan and strategy, and you want to have the cards that you can still play in a pinch, but ideally you want to funnel them into your discard pile as fast as you can in order to use them to pay for effects. So yeah, that's a dynamic I don't think I've really seen like a game built on. So yeah, it's a pretty new thing. I don't like the name they've gone for. Weebs of the Shore is, you know, it's kind of a petty and lame name to make for your company. But I do like the artwork. I do think the artwork is very attractive, very, very strongly dynamic. The card layout is really good. It's very clean. It's very easily read. The box is tremendously attractive with its strong use of jewel tones. So I think it does a lot right, but like I said, it just makes a couple of those rookie mistakes that kind of set me off sometimes. So yeah, that is a look at Grand Archive, and until next time, this is Kodak signing off.